the group's status hierarchy in the society as being legitimate and fair, right? So according to this theory states that the people of the disadvantaged group, they endorse, you can say they do not criticize the status hierarchy that is there in the society, but they endorse such hierarchy, right? And that could be one of the reasons why this prejudice do occur, right? So system justification theory states that the people of the or the members of the disadvantaged group, it could be anyone. For examples, in the case of gender, it could be the woman, right? So women will accept the status hierarchy that is there in the society, that is there in the society or in that community as legitimate, that it is being fair and it is right? And because of these reasons, because the people of the disadvantaged group believe that the status hierarchy that is there in the society is legitimate and fair, and this is one of the hurdles why there is no social advancement or other kind of advancement take place in that group. Right. For example, if we say that the women believe that the status hierarchy that is there in the society, that the males are at the higher status and the women are at the lower status, if it is legitimate and fair because they hold some positions or they are the one who are who are the earning members of the family, right? Because of such reasons, they feel that the status that is there in the society is legitimate, is right, is fair, right? So because of this becomes a hurdle, right? Because women never, then the disadvantaged or the members of the disadvantaged group will never try to break those hierarchy or break those hierarchy that is there in the society, right? And this becomes one of the blockage or one of the hurdles in the advancement of that group of community or that community. ये क्लियर है? ये क्लियर है? सिस्टम जस्टिफिकेशन थियोरी है क्या एग्जैक्टली? मतलब आप इसमें मान रहे हो सिस्टम जस्टिफिकेशन थियोरी में कि जो चीज हायरार्की जो हो रही है कि एक ग्रुप डोमिनेंट है, एक ग्रुप सबऑर्डिनेट है, राइट? ये सही है, ये लेजिटिमेट है, ये राइट है, ये फेयर है, राइट? आप इस चीजों को मान रहे हो, राइट? तो इसकी वजह से ये होता है कि जो आप जो आपको सोशल या इकोनॉमिक एडवांसमेंट उस ग्रुप या उस मेंबर के लोगों का नहीं हो पाता, बिकॉज आप ये मान रहे हो कि जो प्रेवलेंट जो स्टेटस जो चल रहा है वो सही है, राइट? Is there any doubt to anyone? हाँ ना, कुछ तो क्लास.
It's clear, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. It's clear.
Yeah. Okay. So the next is that okay. So the next is that, for example, what happened, the media and the media sometimes you can say portray or promote such kind of thing. For example, people do believe, or because of the media, people started believing that the materialistic advantages that the higher status achieved, that the higher status get, is less as compared to the non-materialistic advantages or non-materialistic good things that the subordinate groups receive. For example, you have seen that in movies, in videos, or in any of the series, you have seen that the people coming from the disadvantaged group are very honest, are very loyal, right? They are being portrayed as such, and they feel, right? And they are poor, right? Somehow in some way, you may have seen that they are poor, but they, you have may seen in the movies that after the non-materialistic, when we talk about it, for example, that after that such people will go in heaven, right? But the other group, that is the dominant group, will having the materialistic advantage, will have a luxury life, will have the car, will have the bungalow and everything, right? So it is what is being done is that and through the medias, through these media, social medias, what is being portrayed is that the materialistic advantages or the materialistic thing that is being received by the dominant group or being received by this higher status, right, group members is less or is reduced, the importance of gets reduced by the non-materialistic advantages or the non-materialistic goods that is being received by the disadvantaged group, right? So this is one of the reasons, and there is one thing that is being said here in your book. They have explained in the Frenzoid, they have explained one terminology called the personal group discriminations discrepancy. Personal group discrimination discrepancy basically states that in this tendency of the members of the disadvantaged group to minimize their personal discriminations among them. For example, what happened in that key, the women are a disadvantaged group, assuming that the women are a disadvantaged group, so there will be less discriminations. There will be less discriminations within the members. I'm talking within the women's, right? So this is called the personal group discriminations discrepancy, right? So this happens. This is usually called the personal group discrimination discrepancy when the minimal group or the disadvantaged group or the subordinate group try to minimize the personal discriminations in their own lives, right? That is called the personal group discriminations discrepancy, right? There is one thing that they have explained in the book, that sometimes we did talk about that the single individual did not recognize that they are being victimized, right? There could be possibility that in some communities, some of the group members are being victimized, are being the victim of stereotypes, are being the victim of discrimination and prejudice, but they are not able to recognize that. This may be because of two reasons, right? The first reason is that they want to distance themselves from the negative attributes, from negative things. Sometimes you may have said कि मैं इन चीजों में नहीं पढ़ना चाहता, right? So most of the people want to distance themselves from these negative things. That's why they do not recognize such issues being prevalent in the society, and they do not see themselves as victim of stereotypes or prejudice, right? The next or the second reasons why the people do not see themselves as victims, right, and do not see themselves as victim of stereotype prejudice is the lack of control. For example, so if a people believe that they are being the victim or of stereotype prejudice, they will lose self-confidence, right? They will the self-confidence and self-esteem will hamper, because they will believe that they do not have any control what is happening in their life, right? And when a person feels that they do not have any control what is there in what is happening with you or what is happening in your life, right, it affects the self-esteem and self-confidence of the person, right? So because of this reasons, people never want to, or people do not see themselves as a victim of stereotypes and prejudice. If they see that I am the victim of stereotype and prejudice, they feel that I do not have the control what is there, what is going on in my life, what is there, right? And because of this reasons, it affects their self-esteem and self-confidence of that person. So because of these two reasons, people do not see themselves as the victim of stereotype, prejudice or any discrimination, right? So when we talked about that the single individuals do not perceive themselves, right, as a victim of it, this could be because of these two reasons, right? Because most of us want to, because everyone wants to have control in their lives, right? So if you talk about anyone, they will say that no, whatever is happening with me, I have a control over it, right? So for example, कि कुछ भी चीजें, right, कि आपको कितना पढ़ना है, कैसे work करना, so it's in your control, right? So when a people loses, when such things happen where the people feel that I'm the victim and I'm not able to have any control what is there in my life, it hampers the self-confidence, self-esteem of that person. Now it's clear to everyone. Is there any doubt in this system justification theory में किसी को कुछ पूछना है? Yes, class. समझ में आ रहा है, नहीं आ रहा है?
आ रहा है मैम.
Okay. The next is that authoritarian personality, how it is related with the hostility, right? So how it is related with the hostility towards the art group members, right? So it has been seen and it has been found that the authoritarian personality is related with the hostility towards the art group members, right? So what happened exactly? This is developed when a child, for example, this is usually developed when the child rearing practices has been very harsh, has been very punitive, right? Which basically means where the parents were very harsh during the childhood of the adult, right? So because of that, a person develops an authoritarian personality. What happens usually in this case is that people cannot retaliate to their, for example, I'm just giving an example to understand this, how this works. So authoritarian personality is related with the hostility towards the art group members. For example, what happened in this, when a child is being scolded by his parents, when a child is being punished by his or her parents, right? So what happened in this, the child cannot retaliate back to his parents because because the parents are an authority figure, right? So he or she cannot retaliate back. In this case, what the child learns or what the child do is that he displays his anger, his hostility towards the disadvantaged group, the group which cannot retaliate back. Right. For example, you may have this may have happened कि आपको, if you are feeling very angry towards anyone, right, and you cannot show your anger towards that person because he or she is an authority figure, right? Maybe it could be your teacher, it could be your parents, it could be your adults, it could be anyone, right? You cannot retaliate back. Then what you do is that you start scolding, or you basically retaliate by you displaces all your anger, all your hostility towards your younger siblings, right, towards your younger brother, your younger sister, because they cannot retaliate back, right, because they are younger to you. So this usually happens in this. So authoritarian personality usually is related with the hostility towards the art group members. In this, why this developed? Because it has been seen that such adults are being treated, or their child rearing practices had been very harsh and punitive. Because of that, they learn it that they cannot show their anger or hostility towards the authority figure, so they displaces all this anger and hostility towards the disadvantaged group, the group which cannot retaliate back. Right. So it could be anyone. For example, for examples in the with respect to racist prejudice, racism, right? So white boss scolded a black employee, right? So what happened in the black case, that he will scold, or he will show his anger, hostility towards someone which is a disadvantage. It could be her wife, it could be anyone, right? So this is happening in this case. Right, this is called the authoritarian personality. Why this happened? Because there are possible reasons for it, right? Because they feel that the other group, the art group members, are a threat to us, right? They wanted to. They are the ones. The authoritarian personality is one which follow the culture values, culture norms. What is there, right? And they believe that the art group members are threat to the in group. That's why they have hostility towards it, right, towards the art group members. You may believe that why such authoritarian personality have such kind of hostility towards the art group members, because they feel that the art group members are threat to the in group members, right? For example, why a male have a hostility? I'm just to understand why, because they feel that they are threat to the in-group members, right? They can compete with themselves, right? So because of these reasons, they have hostility. They have a feeling of hostility towards the art group members, right? This is about the authoritarian personality. Most of the form of prejudice that has been seen is the contemptuous prejudice. Okay, can you explain me what is contemptuous prejudice? Or when contemptuous prejudice is formed? अंजी क्लास हमने 3 kinds of prejudice की बात की थी लास्ट क्लास में. मैम Aditi, Bachi, I think most of things I've covered. I can repeat whatever I have covered in the next class, right, Aditi? There is no issue, bache. You can ask me whenever, but I can repeat whatever I've covered in today's class, right? Okay. Can anyone explain me what is contemporary prejudice? Anchi class.
Ma'am, when the target group has a low status and have a competitive relationship with the out group.
Yes. Then we have the contemporary prejudice, right? So in this, contemporary prejudice is formulated, right? Is it clear till now? Whatever I've covered. Yes, class. Okay, it was clear. Then, since authoritarian personality, there are many perspectives. Before that, you need to understand there are many perspectives in psychology. You may have heard about the Sigmund Freud, right? You may have heard about the Watson. You may have heard about many eminent psychologists, right? So they are from different perspectives, right? For example, each perspective, each schools of psychology or each perspective in psychology, their focus, they said that the focus of psychology should be, someone said that should be the mind should be the focus of psychology, should be the psychology should focus only on the overt behavior, right? So the psychoanalytic perspective gave this authoritarian personality, and it says, and they emphasize on the child rearing practices, that because the adult, if I am very hostile, if I am from the authoritarian personality and I am very hostile towards the our group members, it's been seen that my child rearing practices have been very harsh and punitive, right? This was according to the psychoanalytic perspective, right? But the social learning perspective said that the child learns from his or her parents during her childhood or during her adulthood. For example, you may have seen that the child learns very fast through observations, or through when a behavior is being reinforced, when a behavior is being rewarded, the child learns that behavior to repeat it again. For example, when a child watches any movies, the child picks up the language very fast, right? Picks up the verbal, yeah, verbal languages very fast. Okay, sorry, student, there was some network issue. Okay, so according to the social learning perspective, they said, I hope till now it's clear, psychoanalytic perspective in which they said that the child rearing, because of the harsh and punitive child rearing practices, the child have a hostility or develops a hostility towards the our group members, and since such kind of person cannot, they learn that they cannot retaliate back, because since that person is the person is an authority figure, so they displace all this fear, all this hostility, all this anger towards a disadvantaged group. I hope this till now it's clear to everyone. Right. So the next is a social learning perspective. Social learning perspective says that the child, we cannot explain everything to the this personality conflict, but we say, or we this perspective emphasize that the child learns everything from his or her parents or adults, whichever from his or parents or adults or anyone, right? So, for example, the child learns to how to if the parents or if the members where the child is living, or any parents, or it could be anyone, right? If they show such kind of behavior, right? If they are very prejudiced towards any members or they discriminate, the child learns it, right? This is according to the social learning perspective, right? Now it's clear to everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Okay. Then there is one concept called the dual processing model of personality influenced prejudice. Right. They have explained in this in the last that how this there are two kind of things that they have talked about it. One talked about according to the psychoanalytic perspective, and one talked about according to the social learning perspective. Right. They said that one in which we talked about the according to the psychoanalytic perspective, the person have a harsh, or the person becomes hostile towards the R group member because the person feels that the R group member is a threat to our in group members, or it will affect the in group members, right? So that's why they have a hostility, or they have a feeling of hostility towards the R group members, right? Because such kind of personality, they conform to the rules and conform to the society norms, right? So whatever the hierarchy is there, just give me a minute. Okay, so basically, this kind of person feels or develop hostility. Why? Because they feel that the R group members is a threat, or is a threat to the in group members, right? So because of that, they have a feeling of hostility towards the R group members, right? For example, it same goes for the racism in case of racism, or in case with respect to the gender also, right? So the group or the authoritarian personality have hostility. Why? Because they feel that they are going to, or they're going to have, because these outgroup members are a threat to. It could be like they will be breaking the norms or the values, or affect our norms and values, right? So that's why they have a hostility towards the outgroup members. The second is we talked about the according to the social learning perspective, or we call the social dominance orientations, right? They said that the people who are socialized in a very cold and unaffectionate manner, right, develop a very tough-minded personality, right? In the first, what we discuss is that such kind of, or the authoritarian personality develops. Why? Because they are socialized, they are reared by the strict and very punitive, कि बहुत ही strict guidelines, norms, कि आप ये rule break करो, okay, you will be punished for that, right? Because of that, they develop this authoritarian personality. The second one that we are talking about, the social dominance orientations, it gets developed where the child is being socialized in a very cold and unaffectionate manner, where the parents are not concerned about what you are doing, what you are not, right? It's basically unaffectionate manner, right? where the person develops a very tough minded personality, and in which they view the world as a very ruthless, right, competitive, right, where they believe that the strong will win and the weak will lose. Right. So this kind of personality, or this kind of personality develops where the rearing, or where the person is being socialized in a very cold and unaffectionate manner, right? Where for example, the parents do not, it's not about the parents, but the members who are there, right? So parents, or whoever is rearing the child, does not show affectionate towards the child, is very cold, is not understanding the emotions and everything of the child, right? Then in that case, the child becomes a very tough minded personality, and also he views the world as very ruthless, that the world is very ruthless, competitive, and he viewed, and he had this perspective in his mind that the strong will win and the weak will lose, right? Because of this reasons, the person's desire, or the social dominance, or a person who is high on the social dominance orientations, they have a desire for group power, dominance, and superiority over others, right? For and basically, and a view, or because of this, because they believe that because they have this belief that in this competitive world, the strong will win and the weak will lose. So they have this desire for superiority, they have the desire for power, they have the desire for leadership and dominance, right? So these are they we can say that the person who is high on the social dominance orientation do not become hostile towards the group members, because they feel that the out group members will have any threat to our in group member. This is not the reason for the in the social dominance orientations, but instead they believe that our group members are weak, and they are threat to their own group social status, right? They are weak. Not, for example, just 1 minute. Okay, so the social dominance orientations, right? They believe that they do not they are not on the perceptions, or they do not perceive that the R group members are threat to the culture norms or the social conventions, but they believe that the R group members are weak, right? Because you can understand that the two kinds of orientation, or two kinds of personality that we had talked about, that one is the authoritarian and the one is the social dominance orientations, the two develops in a very different surroundings. One has been developed, authoritarian personality, when we talked about it, they have been socialized, they have been reared in a very harsh and punitive disciplines, right? Because of that, they have a feeling that the R group members they have a hostility towards the R group members, right? Because is there anything else? Okay, so because they believe that the diversity is one of the is a threatening to us, right? And anything that is threatening to their group members, they have a hostility, or they are very sensitive towards that, right? Which is not the case in the social dominance orientation. Social dominance orientation develops when the person. Yes, Pallavi. Okay, social dominance orientation develops when a child is being reared in a very cold and unaffectionate manner, where the person started believing, or where the person believes that in this competitive world, strong will win and weak will lose, and the our group members are weak, right? And they do not have a hostility feelings towards our group member just because they feel that they are threatening their social convention or norms or the culture values, but they feel that the our group members are weak, and this social domination orientations in this person have a desire for group power, dominance over the others, right? ये clear है? हाँ या नहीं class?
Yes, ma'am.
some topics are not there in the Franzoid, then I can share that. Then I will share the other book also, right? But most of things you will find in that book only. ठीक है, जितना चीजें मैंने कवर किया है अभी क्लास में, वो सारी चीजें, सारे टॉपिक्स आपको फ्रेंजॉइड से मिल जाएगा. ठीक है. Okay, is there any doubt? Okay, so one thing, can anyone explain the whatever I explained under the authoritarian personality at a national or international, how this works? क्लास मैंने ऑथोरिटेरियन पर्सनालिटी की बात बताई कि वाई if a person or high authoritarian personality, they develop the hostility because they feel that they are threat to the culture norms and values, right? Because they then have hostile behavior towards that. Anyone wants to explain this? Give me an example of this, class. Yes, class. Okay, I'll just give an example of this. This has been explained in your book also. US has attacked Iraq, right? There could be possible reasons for it, right? So according to the authoritarian personality, they said that Iraq posed a threat, or Iraq was a threat to the US. That's why it was being attacked, right? This could be because they feel that this particular group or this particular country is a threat to us, right? Where the social dominance orientations believes that since they were very insensitive towards the loss of life that was being done at that period of time, right? And because of this was a social dominance orientation, level of empathy can talk, lack of empathy towards the out group members, right? So दोनों में ही hostility होगी, दोनों की feeling out group members के लिए अलग अलग होंगी, right? लेकिन जो reaction, the causes है कि one feels that it's a threat, right? लेकिन when one is on social dominance orientation, it feels that not because of the threat, but they have an inferior feeling towards us, lack of empathy towards the out group members, right? Since so according to the social dominance orientations, the persons have a very lack of empathy towards the other members, right? So because of that, so these are some of the possible reasons of the different kinds of feelings, or you can say why the causal prejudice that one. We do have a prejudice, right? The person do have a prejudice, right? The explanation was different, that one feels that it's a threat to us, that's why we are attacking them. And one feels that that's lack of empathy and they are inferior, or maybe other reasons, right? They are not empathizing with them. Social dominance का ये मतलब नहीं है कि we are empathizing with the other members. They said that yes, it could be threat, but yes, they are inferior. Hostility feeling है, not the attack I say, but the hostility feeling है. Okay, the lack of empathy towards the group members, right? Yes, because they believe that the strong will win and the weak will lose. ठीक है, ये इनका concept, or this is how they have been socialized, right? That's clear to everyone? Is there any doubt to anyone with respect to this? किसी को कुछ पूछना है? Yes, class, सभी को clear है? Okay, so I guess if it's clear, then I can take a test on any day. मैं कभी भी ले सकती हूँ test. Yes, class.
Yes, ma'am. बस 5-6 दिन पहले बता देना.
Okay. Okay, one question that, okay, the next question is, how can we reduce the prejudice? These are some of the causes of prejudice that we have talked about. How can we reduce such kind of prejudice and stereotype that is there in it? Right? So कैसे reduce कर सकते हैं? We have, I think Robert's cave experiment was one of those examples which you can quote in both under the realistic conflict theory and also how to reduce a prejudice. Yes, class. How can we do that? And just give me, I do not want कि बहुत ही specific psychology के related आप बताओ, but according to you, what could be the factors, what could be the possible reasons, and what could be the possible measures that we can do to reduce the prejudice or the stereotypes that is there in the society at the national, international level, at the local level, whatever, right? How can we do that? Yes, class. कर भी सकते हैं कि can we reduce prejudice? Generating awareness, yes. Generating awareness, okay, how you can do that? By either through media, are you talking about it? How? Okay, generating awareness, yes. What could be else? Mutual understanding, yes. Very good. What could be the other? I think you all have watched that study, right? You all have watched that experiments. I've shared that video with all of you, right? Robbers cave experiment, right? In this, there were 3 stages. The last stage was what? Last stage क्या था? What was the last stage?
Ma'am, working for the same thing means for same motive, I mean to say.
Yes, and he gave the researcher gave a particular name for that. What was that? What kind of goal was he talking about it? In that video, they talked about that. Yes, class. Harshita, you are right of the common goal or the common motive. But anyone else can tell me what was the goal that he was talking about it? Okay. Best example, he was talking about the superordinate goals, right? Okay, आपके college के annual day होता है, right? We all have we have annual day, we have college farewell, or you can say college freshers party at the college level. I'm talking about, not at the departmental level, right? So you may have there are 14-16 departments are there in the college, right? Each may possibly have some prejudice and stereotype towards other. It could be possible. I'm just saying there is no such. I know there is nothing like this, but maybe, right? So what happened when you are working for a common purpose? What is the common goal that you have to organize the annual day? So all the departments will work together for a common goal, right? So you will basically, it helps in reducing the prejudice, right? For example, if there is any seminar, conference, if any department is going to organize, the psychology department is going to organize a seminar workshop for 2 days, right? There could be possible that the 3 batches that we have may have some stereotype prejudice amongst themselves towards each other, right? But when they are working for a common goal, this helps in breaking those. You have seen in the robbers cave experiments where they mend the water tank, right? Where they collected the money to watch a movie, right? All this they were all 2 groups work together for a common goal, for a common motive, or for a common goal, right? That is called the superordinate goals. Right. There are other measures that we can do. There is one contact hypothesis, and in that there are few assumptions, right? So contact hypothesis basically said when the 2 groups interact, when they are interacting, it helps in reducing the prejudice. But there are some assumptions that should be met. It does not mean it does not mean that the 2 groups are sitting. That, for example, if there are 2 groups and they have prejudice towards each other, and they will invite the 2 groups for a dinner, will not help in reducing the prejudice, right? But there are some assumptions that should be met. Then only the contact hypothesis will work, which basically means when the 2 groups are interacting, when they are contacting with each other, it helps in reducing the prejudice. We'll talk in the next class what are the assumptions and what are the other measures that helps in reducing the prejudice, right? Okay, I will take the attendance for the class, for this theory class, and then okay, just let me take the attendance first.